Good morning, traders from Chicago. It's 8:01 a.m. Chicago time on the 25th of August, 2021 is Wednesday, hump day. This is episode number 2059. Again, thanks for joining me. Derivatives trading is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. You might hear a slight echo, reverb, or something because I have not put anything up on the walls. We're in the new office at the Chicago Board of Trade. And it's a glass on one side and plain walls on the other. So I've got sound bouncing all over the place here. Hopefully it doesn't sound too bad to you. Let's jump right into the convergent trading pre-market summary sheet. Very straightforward today, same as yesterday. Unfortunately, giving us a market that really has no action whatsoever. The market is digesting and just kind of chewing on and masticating current prices to death. If you recall from Monday, we had that 44.80 offer, large offer. I talked about it. We ended up putting a point of control there. We ended up putting a point of control there yesterday at about 81.75. You know, just a point here or there, a couple points here and there, doesn't mean anything. And then the point of control overnight is 81.75, 81.75. So we have moved to this area. We have pushed that volume. We've traded the heck out of it. And then now the market's completely in a resting phase and is sitting sideways. Volume yesterday was really almost abhorrent. 561,000 contracts in the RTH session versus 1.1 million, almost 50% off of the long-term point of control for daily volume on the RTH, and about 40% off of the most recent stats on daily volume. So that's what we're dealing with. We are coming to the end of the summer here. I know you don't want to hear that, at least in the northern hemisphere. But we're coming into the end of the summer. Schools are starting back up. We're about a week and a half away from Labor Day here in the U.S., which is on the 6th of September, which is a holiday, by the way. And then everything hopefully gets back in gear. So August is one of those months that generally we don't expect too much, and we've gotten a little bit of movement. Felt lucky, but overall it's meeting our expectations in general. So what's the market posture? The market posture is mixed. You can see the indices are up 1 to 9 basis points across the board. Not much going on there. The NASDAQ up 10 points. The S&P is basically unchanged or unched for those who've been in the business for a while. The Euro stocks are strong, but the DAX is off as the German IFO number missed this morning. Crude inching its way back to $68. You may have noticed there on the right, it says U.S. restarting offshore leasing. This is probably one of the drivers that has caused crude to push down over the last week or so. So that's what we've got. Gold, silver, sideways. Gold at 1,800. Bitcoin has come off of the 51,000 area, trading around 48,000. And Ether is still hanging on to its gains. It's come off from 3,300 or so. The S&P, as far as what's on deck, the U.S. budget's being debated, and there's some dissension among the Democrats, the leading party in the U.S., as to how this money should be allocated and spent. And so that's in question, but it looks like it is likely to push forward. Today, the only thing I have left, we had durable orders this morning. Durable orders came in at negative 0.1%, better than the negative 0.2% forecast, and the consensus is negative 0.3. And what's remaining today is crude oil stocks expecting a draw of 2.683 million, and gasoline expecting a draw of 1.557 million, and that pretty much does it. The S&P balanced profile overnight, only 108,000 contracts, very light trading. The inventory is pretty much flat. Range is okay, 21.5, better than what we saw yesterday. This point of control is wrong. We'll need to adjust that. Every morning I got to adjust something. It's just I rebuilt my computer and the charts and stuff, and so things are not 100%. The move, of course, exacerbates that. Let's take a look at what was expected yesterday. The primary scenario is a pullback lower. I was looking for it to really push into that 75 area right here. Yeah, the range is only 11 points. Man, I really got to work on that chart. Yeah, I apologize for the inaccuracy there. That's unusual. Keep an eye on the 75. There's a wide stock zone here. It's been here for ever since we pushed up 2 days ago. I expected the market to pull back to the 75 and then launch itself into the 90, consolidate into this 88 to 92 range, consolidate in the 88 to 92, push through, pull back, and then continue to 4,500. And it has not done so. The secondary push into the 90 area and then sell off. Well, yesterday gave us neither. Yesterday was just pretty awful in general. Here's what we've got for yesterday. A market that opened, we pushed lower. Let me clean this up a little bit. A market that opened and we pushed lower. Couldn't quite get into the 75 area. This is expected to be a support area. Couldn't get into the 75 to test the close, settle, and this big battle area from the close of the prior session. Chop, chop, chop. No trades yesterday. It pushes to 88. 88 the bottom of that stock zone from the weekend that was put up on the weekend. Pulls back to 79, puts in a higher low, and it looks like this is going to take off. Higher low, and it's about to launch. Yet it goes nowhere. It does not launch. It does not push. It doesn't do anything. It comes all the way back and finishes around the 4480 high volume node, which is becoming a micro composite point of control now, and that's where we are. There's really not much to talk about here, so I'm going to keep moving on. Just to review the big picture, here's we've gapped up and run on Monday, and yesterday was a complete doji. Started and finished in the 4480 area, unable to get through the 88 to 92 area, as I said, and it's just stuck. So there's nothing going on here. The market is in a digestion mode. So here it is. In the overnight session, we open back up, test lower, test into yesterday's low, which was 77.50, and we went and tested the overnight low by 2 ticks. And by the way, we did not take out the overnight high or low yesterday. Very unusual, and statistically speaking, very unusual. This morning we took out the low, yesterday's low, by 2 ticks, came right back up and held yesterday's high, and have been trading sideways, completely balanced, with a concentration of confluences around this 80 to 82 area. That's it. There's not much more to it. There's not much to say, not much more to say about it. Looking at Edge Pro X here. Oops, wrong monitor. 1 second. Looking at Edge Pro X here, we see that there's really, looking at the book, there's some size at the 88. It's broken up. There's a little bit of block sizes that are resting up here. Pull up the whiteboard here. For some reason, it's not picking me up. You can see some block sizes resting up here into the 88, but above there in this wide, this is the big wide confluence zone. There's not much here until you get into the 4,500, and we have some size resting at the 4,500. I expect some activity up there. But other than that, there's not much more on the top side or the bottom side. Fairly kind of thin profile market, and it just simply is trading sideways. Here's the overnight action. Not much going on here. Pretty quiet and trading sideways. Let's take a look at what's going on in terms of today's session. It's going to be more of the same, folks. There's not much to say here other than the fact that you got to be patient in this kind of environment and just wait for it. Let's see what we've got for scenario one. Scenario one, open auction, in range, in value of yesterday, in range of the prior day, consolidate, pull back to the point of control to yesterday's settle, consolidate here for a while, and then I'm looking forward to make an attempt at this 88, start pushing into the 90, and to take out the overnight, the extended trading hours overnight high, this excess high I talked about yesterday. Remember yesterday I talked about this excess high up here, expecting to take that out and to start walking itself up to the 4,500. So let's look at that century figure. The century figure up here, it might have to do this over 2 sessions because the trade is incredibly slow. Secondary, it pushes up again into the 88.90, unable. Again, we get the same thing as yesterday, impulse down, consolidate back into the point of control at the 81.82, and then start looking the other way. And I'm looking for a bounce at the 75. So on scenario 2, it might pull back from the 90 down to 75, giving us 15 points of range, expecting support at the 75. The 75 doesn't hold, we may see a quick flush and a pullback, setting us up for a short into 67, the singles, and then 44.60 below there. But look, I'm just keeping my expectations very low, and that's where I stand. So that's cool. I love that there are people who are who go through the process of starting a Google account, logging into YouTube so they can come in and just say some nonsense, but just ignore. In any case, that's where we stand today, and I'll leave you with that. There's not much more for me to say here. Just don't let it run away from you. You know, just cut those. Don't hold on to trades that don't work for too long. So just take your trades and get out if they don't respond the way that you expect. Good luck, and I'll catch you tomorrow morning. Take care.